read some verses about beneficial of bodhicitta, then you can reflect or you can contemplate the benefit of bodhicitta. You just listen. Okay, why not? Before we contemplate on bodhicitta or benefit of bodhicitta, so I chant the stanza number 4. Leisure and enrollment are very hard to find, and since they accomplish what is the meaningful for humanity, if I do not take advantage of them now, how will such a perfect opportunity come about again? So first, every day we really need to remember, I have the human life, I'm a human being. It is so difficult to find or difficult to have the leisure and enrollment human life. Somehow it is kind of quick coincident. Somehow we born as a human, not only born as a human, we have all the opportunity in the samsaric level, in the practice level. Just remember, we no need to use any reasoning and logics. When you look at other country, you look at so many other people who are just a human being. They don't have the 3 times meals. They don't have the proper shelter. Somebody cannot see anything. Somebody cannot hear anything. Even there are some millions of people who never ever hear about Dharma, Bodhicitta, emptiness, liberation, Buddhahood. So this life is, what we have is so special. It's a very, very, very rare. So we have this kind of human life based on this life. So this life is kind of like the transit camp. Whether you go to Buddhahood or go to continuously remain in samsara. Yes, due to our merit and karma, we have this life. This life is impermanence. Meditate on impermanence, particularly impermanence of our own life, impermanence of our relatives, impermanence of our belongings. Everything going to disappear. It's just only the matter of coming. Then one day the death will come. Everybody has to go through the death. After the death, there's a next life. The next life can be good, very good, excellent. The next life can be very bad, worse, worsen. It depends on our this life's practice. So how our this life is look like? I will chant stanza number 5. Reflect on or contemplate on our daily practice. Just as a flash of the lightning on the dark cloud night, or an instant brightly illuminates all. Likewise, in this world, through the mercy of God, mercy of Buddha, a wholesome thoughts rarely, briefly appears. All sentient beings include us. Since we were born until today, our life is like a darkness with a heavy clouds of cloudy nights. We think I can see as it is. We are very, very mistaken. When we see that things are not there as it is, we cannot see the things as it is. Since we were born until today, our mind, us, control, influence by ignorance, attachment, anger, hatred, unwholesome, wholesome actions. Also, we believe ourselves, this life, last few years, have been practice Dharma. We believe for the last few years until today, have been practice pure Dharma. I've been accumulating pure merit. Those also actually not true. It's in this life, we have a very rare, little pure Dharma about to generate. Also, this lifetime is a very little pure merit about to accumulate. So we've been practice the non-virtuous Dharma, non-virtuous actions. So we've been actually accumulating lots of negative karmas. Therefore, after we died, after our death, almost 90% look like we're not able to go into higher realms. 100% sure not in pure land. Almost 90% look like we were going to go through the lower realms, either hell being, animal, hungry beings. So now we realize it is very crucial, very important. We need to minimize, we need to purify the negative karma. What is the best practice for reducing, minimizing, eliminating the negative karma? What is the best practice? The answer will be bodhicitta. Right? Bodhicitta. Stanza number 8, as we just read. Those who wish to destroy the many sorrows of conditioned existence, those who wish for being to experience a multitude joy, and those who wish to experience much happiness, should never forsake the awakening mind. So this stanza you need to memorize. There are so many dharma, so many practices you can practice in order to destroy the sorrow. But bodhicitta is the most powerful dharma, can be destroyed sorrows. There are so many practices you can experience the multitude of joys. The best is bodhicitta. Through practicing bodhicitta, you can experience a multitude of joys. Not only that, through practice of dharma, we can experience ultimate happiness. Therefore, in order to minimize, eliminate the negative karma, practice bodhicitta. In order to have a happiness for this lifetime, next life, after next life, until the Buddhahood, practice bodhicitta. For example, when when you are not happy with anything, with your family, with your job, with the weather, with the food, with the neighbors, with the friends, then you are not happy about something, immediately generate bodhicitta. Instantly cultivate bodhicitta. Then the sorrows, the mental suffering, even the physical suffering, going to minimize, going to be under control. Not only that, when you actually generate, when you actually able to grow the sprite of bodhicitta able to grow in your mind, instantly you become bodhisattva. When you grow bodhicitta in your mind, the samsara which is we are in, it become more weaker, become very weak. When you able to grow bodhicitta within your mind, you actually start your journey to accumulation, preparation, seeing, meditation, no more running path to the Buddhahood. There are so many benefits. So for the short time, please contemplate on the beneficial of bodhicitta. then sincerely, strongly have a strong wishing for generating bodhicitta. I want to cultivate, I want to generate bodhicitta to benefit all sentient beings, all sentient beings. Since today, for you, for me, for us, whether the person is a Buddhist or non-Buddhist, whether the person is a believer or non-believer, the person is rich or poor, ugly or beautiful, no matter, we need to accept, we need to believe all human beings, particularly your own enemy, are my friends, like my relatives. Not only human beings, all sentient beings are like my mother, like my father, like my best friend. You need to destroy the self-centered attitudes. You need to destroy the discrimination, my friends and my enemy. Remember, reflect on the beneficial of bodhicitta. Then what's wrong for us, right? We are Buddhist. We believe in Tibetan. Every day we do, practice as much as we can. We do a lot of recitation. We do retreat. But when you reflect on your own experience, suffering, we're going to realize my sufferings are not really reduced. It's same. My problem is not really reduced. It's maybe increasing more. So what's wrong? What's wrong? There must be cause and condition, right? So the answer you can find here, stanza number 28. The benefits of the beginning mind, stanza number 28. Although wishing to be rid of misery, they run towards misery itself. Although wishing to have happiness, like an enemy, ignorantly destroy it. Exactly this one. But Tibetan we don't have to they run. That means they run. That is not the correct word to say. Although wishing to be rid of misery, they run towards misery itself. That means we are not running. We are also running. But Tibetans simply say, although wishing to be rid of misery, run towards the misery of itself. Then what's the second line? Although wishing to have happiness, like an enemy, they ignorantly destroy it. Exactly this, the correct, right answer was wrong with us, was wrong all human beings, was wrong all sentient beings. Everybody wants to wish happiness. But everybody don't want suffering, but the suffering without putting effort, it would come naturally, it come, continuously. But we want happiness. We wish to achieve happiness. We do a lot of things for happiness. Because happiness, the actual happiness never come in our life. So what's wrong? So these are the answer. So how we, we run towards misery. It's the misery of the cause, the misery of the condition. For example, the easy, simple example we can use it here related to this stanza. You can see someone is have an oversized body, like 80 kilo, 100 kilo. They want to reduce their weight, right? They want to reduce, they want to control the heaviness. Yes, they are very sincere, they are very serious, but they run towards the junk food, right? Junk food. So now you can see there's a contradiction. If you're very serious about reducing your weight, if you're very serious about controlling your BP, sugar, any kinds of physical problems, you should not run after the unhealthy food and drink. You should not run towards the junk food and drink. It's a contradiction. Like us. So we wish to be rid of misery, but we always become very careless when the anger arises, attachment arises, ego arises. We let them arise. Now it's a contradiction. In one hand, we let all the negative thoughts arise. On the other hand, we wish to be happy. These two cannot coexist at the same time. We want to be, we wish to destroy the misery. Don't let the negative thoughts arise. So exactly, so we've been through this kind of life. So how we, stop after running towards the misery of the cause? How we can stop? There's a few things we always need to remember. First, we always need to aware about our minds. We always watch our own mind, but we are not watching our own mind. We are always watching others' mind. Right? Oh, this people is very angry. Oh, this people is very jealous. These people are very stingy. We are not looking at our own minds. So what is the point? You are talking about others. No point. Don't talk. Don't think. Don't watch their mind. We must our own mind. Watch our own mind. When you are able to watch, when you have the habit, watching your own minds, then you're going to realize, oh, now my mind is kind of with the anger. My mind is with the attachment, because anger, attachment, those are the mental factor for the mind. That means you are looking after your child. When you look after your child, you are always looking after your child. Now my child is playing ball with the ball. My child is eating, candy. Should not let the boy eat the candy. Now my child is with the bad boys, bad girls. You have to stop. Otherwise, your child or your friends will be, like that person. So we need to learn. The first step you need to learn. You must have a habit to watch your own mind, not others' mind. When you are able to watch your mind, then you are going to aware or anger is going to arise. I need to stop it. Anger is already arise. I need to control it. Anger is not right now. The anger is so strong. And don't let you go much stronger. I have to control it. Then you practice bodhicitta, great compassion, the anger going to reduce, going to control. That means, in one hand, you are controlling your anger. That means you are trying to control your suffering. In the other hand, controlling anger is actually the cause of your happiness. When you are able to control anger, you feel peaceful, you feel happy. This is the answer. So I ask you, after first you read the first chapter, after reading the first chapter, you need to select few stanza and, keep as your note, few stanza. Now, let's say, we fully understood life is impermanence, cannot be last forever, particularly the death will come any times. It's so difficult to have another, such as wonderful life because of all my negative karma. I need to control them. Therefore, I need to practice bodhicitta. I need to practice bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is one of the best of the best, dharma practice. When you look at the history of all the Buddhist practitioners, Buddha Shakyamuni, Maitreya Buddha, Manjushri, all the Indian, most of the Indian scholars who become very famous, who become very high practitioner because of bodhicitta. Also, when you look at the history or biography of the Tibetan master in Guru Lama Tsongkhapa, he practiced bodhicitta. Before he practiced really bodhicitta, before he really tried to understand emptiness, he spent a long time for doing prostration, mandala offering. Why? In order to generate the bodhicitta, in order to grow bodhicitta with your mind, we need to purify the negative karmas. At the same time, we need to accumulate merit. Remember, purifying the karma, accumulating merit. For example, you are really very much like one particular flower. You really like a flower. You have one favorite flower, whatever flower you can imagine. So you want to grow the flower in your garden, in your flower pot. What do you have to do first? What do you have to do? First, you need to fill the soil on the pot. You need to, put the proper soil in your gardens. So when you put in the soil, when you lie the soil on the ground, put it on the soil, soil on the flower pot, you need two things. You need to remove the big stone, big grass. If you're not removing the stone and big grass, you cannot grow the flower, right? You cannot. At the same time, you need to add right amount of water. You need to put the right amount of heat. Then you can plant the flower. Likewise, bodhicitta is like a growing flower in your mind, the lotus flower. In order to grow the bodhicitta, two obstacles. One is the negative karmas is obstacle. Second is not enough the merit. So you need to focus on these two. Therefore, was the second chapter. Second chapter about this disclosure of evil. It's simple, you can say purifying negative karma. That's the number one. In order to seize the precious mind, I offer now to Tathagatas, to sacred Dharma, the stainless jewel, and to the disciple of Buddha, the ocean of the excellence. Right? Now what you have to think, so we have to be very serious, okay? We cannot be, on the same kind of habits. We cannot, because life is impermanent. I'm really seriously, sincere, with a sincere mind, I'm really urging all of you, you should not go through the kind of, the culture, the habits. Means, attend, teaching somewhere, then just feel happy. Attend another teaching somewhere, just feel happy. You're just going around for many times for receiving teaching, not serious about practice. If you are not serious, if you are not very sincere about your daily practice, then we are not going to reach it, not going to reach anywhere. Our Dharma experience is always the same. So what you have to think is, I really, really want to practice bodhicitta until I become Buddha. Every moment, every day, every moment, I want to generate bodhicitta. In order to generate it, and first, as a foundation, like a primary practice, I need to focus on two things: purification, accumulation of merit. So how I can purify negative karmas? How I can accumulate merit? Therefore, chapter number 2 is my first making offering, means accumulating merit. Okay? Accumulating merit. So what does mean accumulating merit? What does mean how I can accumulate merit? How? Simply you're going to say, oh, I need to do prostration, I need to make mandal offering, I need to make a contribution, I need to do this. These are, in a way, I'm going to say it's very right, it's very correct, but it is very much depend on your intention, your motivation, not the action much. Clear? Not much depends on your action, it depends on the motivation. If your motivation is correct, action is going to be correct. If the motivation, action are very correct, very pure, the result can be very pure. Please remember, the motivation is the most important. Motivation. So what kind of motivation we should have? The best motivation, bodhicitta. So how we can connect accumulating, purifying negative karma with the bodhicitta? Simple. I wish to be Buddha for what? To benefit all sentient beings. This moment, can we benefit all sentient beings? Cannot. Even though we cannot benefit our own families, how I can benefit all sentient? Cannot. Therefore, I really want to benefit all sentient beings. I want to do, the best things for all sentient beings. How? I need to become Buddha. Therefore, I need to practice bodhicitta. Therefore, I need to purify my negative karmas. Therefore, I need to become married. Therefore, simply, You offer light. A very simple candle light costs 50 cents, $1, $2. It costs little money, right? It costs little money. 50 cents, $1 is nothing for you. The offering light costs only 50 or $1. You must think, I'm going to offer this light to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I'm going to offer this light to the stupa and statue of the Buddha's Bodhisattva in order to purify my negative karmas. Offer the light. Offer one piece of apple, one piece of banana. I think I'm going to offer this to the triple gem in order to accumulate merits. Even though when you making $1 donation to anywhere, you must think I'm going to donate $1 to this center or this charity in order to accumulate merit, to cause, to able to generate bodhicitta, then I can be Buddha. Right? That means the motivation is so great, so big. Action is very simple action. What you are doing, you're offering a single light. It costs 50 cents. When you offer a light, like any temple, they charge, they say $50, whatever, no, $50 cents, $2, $1, what do you think? Quite expensive, right? But when you buy coffee, these are how much? $1. The cheapest one, let's say, if you go before 7, I go early morning like 5:30, 6 a.m., it only 80 cents. 80 cents around here, I'm not sure. But after 7, it's go double. $1.80. Because I went one of the coffee shop, they said like a 80 cents coffee, 80 cents, and it could be C, could be shoe, could be whatever. I just paid 80 cents. No, it's $1.80. Then I said, what's the price? He says it's before 6 before 6 a.m. 7 is no more discount. Now what I'm saying, the action is very small or simple action. Your motivation is so great. Therefore, the merit can be so big. The result can be so big. Therefore, we need to learn how to accumulate merit. For some of your friends, spend lots of money, buying 100 bunch of flower, 1,000 candle lights, so many things. If you ask a question yourself, is this person, is this family, is this group going to accumulate lots of merits or not? The answer will be depends on motivation. So please don't forget to generate, don't forget to have a great pure motivation. Don't worry about the action, don't worry about the object. Because Buddha said accumulating great amounts of merit, it depends on the motivation, not the depends on the object. Here I tell you one, the truth story about King Ashoka. Right? He's one of the very famous Indian king. So when one of the Buddha lifetime, one of the Buddhas, Buddha Shakyamuni, before his one of the lifetime, he was passing through a village. And he saw there are few boys or few children are playing on the water bank, on the river side. So Buddha was passing through the river. Buddha asked the children, give me a food. Buddha asking, give me food. Then they don't have a food. No food. Then one of the children just collect a sand full of the handful sand, offer to Buddha. He's so short, he cannot reach to the begging bowl. Then one of the friends just, sit down, he step up, then he offer full of hand of sand is a begging bowl. Simple. But the boy doesn't have a, great motivation. But he offered with a pure mind. Due to offering, a handful of sand to the Buddha, he became King Ashoka. King Ashoka. Then the King Ashoka really, give a big contribution for Buddha teachings. Therefore, motivation, accumulating merit. Second, how we should purify negative karma. Therefore, stanza number 27. Before there's a prostration. 24, 25, 26 are the stanza for prostration. With the bodies as numerous as all the atoms within the universe, I have prostrated all the Buddhas of the 3 times, the Dharma and the Supreme Community. Likewise, I have prostrated to all the religious, to the basis of awakening mind, to all learned abode and the master, and to all the noble practitioner. I seek refuge in all Buddhas until I possess the essence of awakening mind. I seek refuge to Dharma and in the assembly of Bodhisattva Way. So, within the 7 limb is the limb of the prostration. Again, I hope you remember when you do prostration, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, or 7 times. If you are very busy, you just simply, make a kind of gesture, pay respect to the Tibetan, to the holy object. Here you don't forget, when you do a simple, like a respect gesture, instantly you visualize, you becomes numerous. You yourself, manifest as multiply as a billions of you, billions of heads, billions of tongue. So when you say Namo Guru Be, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, then you imagine you become multiply as a numberless, countless. You are reciting the verses, you are doing the prostration, right? So, since today, when you're going around by bus, on the, by car, when you see holy object, like a Buddhist temple, you just do simple, gesture. If there are so many people around you, don't do like this. Mentally, you pay respect to the temple, to the holy object, to the stupa. Just simply you have a prostration by your mind. Number 1. Number 2, even though when you're going around by bus, by car, when you see church, mosque, Hindu temple, you need to remember that Jesus Christ. Also, he benefits millions of people. Have a sense of appreciation. When you look at the mosque, also you must remember this is a very important place for the Muslim. Millions of Muslims come here to do their own practice, sense of rejoice. Hindu temple, whatever, have a sense of rejoice. That means prostration, right? So there's two different, not two different ways. Let's say three different ways. One you just simply do, you bow down. Is also prostration. The second is that you just touch your 5 points, your 2 knees, 2 palms, and head. The one is the long prostration. If you have a time, let's say 3 to 4 minutes, you do the long prostration. Long prostration, in a way, is good for your health. You are doing a good exercise. The most important one, you can accumulate merit according to the atom which you cover by your body. Cover your body. Your body cover like a 3 feet. Under the 3 feet, there are some millions of atom. You're going to have a merit. You go as the atom. Right? Prostration, then purification. 27. With full hand, I beseech the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who possess the great compassion, reside in all directions, through beginningless second existence in this life and other. Unknowingly, I committed transgression and ordered them to be done by others. So, okay, this one, you do the simply purification. So now the step. First, meditate on impermanence and death, importance of life, the wish to be Buddha, remember the benefit of bodhicitta. Then, in order to achieve bodhicitta, in order to actually grow the bodhicitta in your mind, I need to purify my negative karmas, do the proper purification. Not only purification, accumulating merit through the making offering, through the prostration, through the any kind of good actions. But here, what you have to think when you do the purification, you think whatever negative karmas I've been accumulating with the intention, without intention, by my body, speech, and mind. Today, this morning, I'm going to purify in front of the Buddhism, in front of the Bodhisattvas, in front of your own gurus. Not only just purifying the karma, at the same time you think in the future, I'm not going to engage into any negative actions. This means proper purification. Then now you got the all condition, or the good condition to able to grow bodhicitta in your mind. Now next you are ready to accept the bodhicitta, means you are willingly, happily going to practice bodhicitta. Right? Now remember that then the accepting bodhicitta, the beginning of the acceptance, what are the practice you have to do? Without looking the chapter, remember the first few stanza. Rejoicing and inspiration. Rejoicing and inspiration. Stanza number 1. Full acceptance of the awakening mind. Gladly do I rejoice in the virtues that relieve the misery of all those in the unfortunate state, and that give happiness to the suffering. I rejoice in the gathering of the virtues that is the cause for the Arhat awakening. I rejoice in the definite freedom of embodiment as creature from the misery of the second existence. Okay, now here you need to know the point before accepting the bodhicitta. Why there are few stanzas for rejoicing, rejoicing. Yes, purify negative karma. Then you practice for cumulative merit. Top of them, you need to reflect or contemplate on the rejoicing. When you have a pure rejoicing towards the good deeds done by you, done by your families, done by others, done by Buddha, Bodhisattva Way, you accumulate big, amount of merit without having lot of without going through lot of difficulties. Right? You need to go. You don't need to spend any money. You no need to do a lot of prostration. No, just you have a sense of rejoice for the good action, good deeds. Therefore, what Lama said, if you wish to accumulate, if you wish to have a great amounts of merit, very easy way, while you are sleeping, reflect or remember the rejoicing. Even though you are sleeping in your bed, you just remember. For example, yesterday, after His Holiness Dalai Lama, visited to South India, from the Garden Monastery, they came number 3, the depot, there's hundreds of thousands of people on the roadside, holding flower, incense, sense of happiness, sense of pure devotion. That time, you not just watch the video and photo, you must have a sense of rejoice. Sense of rejoice. You are in Singapore, you are not there. You haven't spent any spend money, but you are gathering great amounts of merit without doing much, without going through any difficulties. Rejoice. When you hear somebody giving teaching, somewhere, when you see the video, you must have a sense of rejoice. Now you know the point why the rejoicing is important. It's very important because without going through a lot of difficulties, without spending a lot of time, you can accumulate big amounts of powerful merit, which is cause to generate bodhicitta. Rejoicing, right? After rejoicing, then what's the next? Inspiration. Inspiration. Stanza number 5. Requesting the 10 wheel dharma karu. Stanza number 5. With a folded hand, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the lamp of Dharma for all believers in the misery gloom. The 6. With a folded hand, I beseech to the conqueror who wish to pass away, to bless humanity for the countless eons, and not to leave the world in darkness. These 2 stanzas also you can include in your notebook, right? Then you can go step by step. Then after that is the Karu inspiration. So this one you can read through. So you wish to be, simple you think, I wish to be whatever the sentient being needed. That means your body, your speech, your mind, you yourself wish to transform, wish to be whatever any sentient being needs. What sentient being needs? Food, medicine, shelter, clothes, bridge, boats, right? Just wish I'm here to benefit all sentient beings. Since today, I wish to be anything, piece of biscuit, piece of fruit, flower, water, medicine, doctor, nurse. That means you are generating, all kinds of inspiration. So why it is so important to do all the inspiration prayers? Now you can see the gradual process, the step. You know all the benefits of bodhicitta. Wish to generate bodhicitta. In order to generate bodhicitta, I need to be free from the two obstacles. One is the negative karmas. I want to eliminate. Second obstacle, not having enough merit, cumulative merits. The most powerful, easy way cumulative merit is the rejoicing. Then you continuously wishing, practice bodhicitta. Now you can see, oh, I want to practice bodhicitta. If there's nobody who can teach me bodhicitta, then suddenly you wish, the gurus, the lama, the sifu who are teaching bodhicitta, wish to continuously teach the dharma, continuously teach the bodhicitta for all sentient beings, particularly for me. You wish to be practice bodhicitta. If there's nobody can teach you bodhicitta, how you can practice bodhicitta? Therefore, you can see the point in stanza number 6. The 7, yes, there's someone who is teaching bodhicitta, like for example, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. In his mind, for the 24 hours, while he is meeting up people, talking with someone, having meeting, having whatever, in his deep mind, in the deep down his mind, bodhicitta is always there. So he's one of the excellent guru who can teach us bodhicitta. Now he is 90 years old. Now we can see it is so urgent, so important. We wish we made a prayer for him to live long life. Now you can see the point. Clear? Now next, generating bodhicitta. Stanza number, remember what stanza number? Accepting bodhicitta, stanza number, remember? I ask all of you go through the chapter. I don't think any you go through, so I will see the Tibetan number. Yes, 11 more, I think. Since 11. Oh. Stanza number 23, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26. Okay, one thing I forgot to explain you. When you have an inspiration, right? You wish to be whatever the sentient being need. Means you're totally giving up your body, your mind, your speech, your belongings. You totally give up everything. You totally offer everything to the all sentient beings. Clear? Totally offer everything for all sentient beings. Since you shouldn't have a sense of attachment towards your belonging. You shouldn't have a sense of attachment for your position, your name, and your fame. That means somebody want to use, your belongings. You should not be angry. You should not be upset because your possession is already offered to them, right? Offered to them. That means this your belonging is no more your belonging. Those are belongings to others. They are using their belongings, not using your belongings. Because you already dedicate your belongings to others. Then somebody kind of jealous about you, your name, your position, your wealth, your family, whatever. It's very easy to have a jealousy. Very easy to have a jealousy. Due to jealousy, somebody, say bad thing about you. Behind you, somebody is saying a lot of bad things about you. What do you feel? Do you feel happy? Yes, you must feel happy. Why? Saying bad thing behind you, if the person feel happy, it's okay, let them say. What's you going to lose? Right? Yes? Okay. Very good question. Yes. Surely they're going to accumulate negative karma. You cannot stop them accumulating negative karma. They will accumulate. It is not your business. It is their business. Right? Then somebody is very much, praising about you, in front of you, behind of you. Somebody says, oh, this person is very good heart, caring people. That person is very good. Do you feel sense of pride? It's good to feel pride, right? No. If you feel pride, if you feel proud about yourself, that means you are lifting up by bloom. You are sitting on the bloom, right? Balloon. You're sitting on the balloon. Do you stable? Did it punch? Finish. Therefore, somebody making a lot of praising about you should not feel happy, should not feel pride. You think that's good, should not have a sense of pride, should not have a sense of kind of ego. Because so many people criticizing about you, why you are so happy, somebody praising you. Or somebody is saying bad thing about you, why you should be upset? There are so many people praising you. You have to remain in the neutral. So since you have a lot of inspiration, you need to think, I don't care people praising about you, people criticizing about me. I don't care because I myself totally dedicate for them to benefits. Right? Now you can see why it's so important. Now we're going to accepting the bodhicitta stanza number. What is the stanza number I said? 22. No. Stanza number first we read stanza number 20. 20. Accepting 20. Please read. May I be wishing you a magic was, powerful mantras and great medicine. May I become wishing fulfilled tree and a cow of plenty of gold. Just like a space and the great element is the earth, may I always support the lives of all boundless creatures. So this is one of the powerful prayers, just like a space and the great elements such as the earth. May I always support the lips of all the boundless creatures, of all sentient beings. So you have a very strong inspiration, particularly you are thinking, okay, I wish to be like a space. I wish to be like a, four elements. The sentient being always can benefit from me. Stanza number 2 is, 22, is explaining us how we need to practice, how we need to accept bodhicitta. 22, please. And until they pass away from pain, may also be the source of life for all down to the void being they reach unto the inner space. Just as the priestess Sugata gave birth to the awakening mind, and just as the successive growth in the Bodhisattva practice. Likewise, for the sake of all their lives, do I give birth to the awakening mind, and likewise shall I to successfully follow the practice. Stanza number 23, 24 is the teaching us how we should practice bodhicitta. Because now you remember how Buddha Shakyamuni, he practiced, bodhicitta. Also you need to remember how Asanga practiced bodhicitta, practiced great compassion. Asanga was having a lot of, difficulties to understand the whole meaning of the Prajna Paramita teaching. He was having a lot of difficulties because mostly we read the Heart Sutra. That Heart Sutra is just very short, Prajna Paramita teaching. When you go through reading the 16 volumes of the Prajna Paramita teaching, you can see there's a lot of repetition, repeat again, a lot of repetitions. He confused. He doesn't know all the meanings. Therefore, he thought the best the Mitra can explain about this meaning. Therefore, he wanted to meet Mitra Buddha. Therefore, he was doing serious retreat or serious kind of practice for meeting Mitra. 3 years passed, didn't see. 6 years passed, didn't see. 9 years passed, he didn't see Mitra Buddha. So he felt so upset, he totally gave up after 9 years. So he come out from the cave. So he was going to the village, right? Remember the story? And he saw there's a kind of female dog. His body is complete with a lot of wounds. He feels so compassion. He wants to save the dog life. He wants to save the life. How he can save the dog full of wounds? Wounds, right? If you take all the wounds, hundreds of the wounds, the insect going to die. He can save only one life, but hundreds of thousands of life going to die. Insect going to die. He confused what to do. He wants to save the dog, at the same time he wants to save all the wounds. So then he cut his flesh from the body. He cut some piece of flesh for the bone, then he cannot touch my hand because the bone was so fragile. And he thought I just, take out the germ through his lip, his tongue. He just touched the body, try to touch the dog body. He cannot touch. Open his eyes, he saw the Mitra Buddha is right there. Because that moment is sincerely, purely generated great compassion, bodhicitta. Due to power of bodhicitta, power of great compassion, purify negative karma, enough cumulative merit to see Mitra Buddha. Right? So we have to do this kind of, very pure, sincere kind of compassion and bodhicitta. So, number one. Number two, also, the best way you go through the adverses maintaining. This sentence was simply saying, I will practice, since today I'm going to accept bodhicitta, my main practice, as the previous Buddha, previous practitioner. Particularly stanza number 24. Likewise, for the sake of all that lives, do I give birth to the awakening mind, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the practice. You don't just read the stanza, you must read the stanza with the understanding, with the feeling, feel the meaning. Then you read the stanza. 25. In order to further increase his from now on, thus with the descendants who have thusly sized the awakening mind in this way, should highly practice this flowing manner. This is the main kind of stanza for generating or accepting bodhicitta. That's number 25. So not 20, for Tibetans, that's a number. Yeah. Likewise, for the sake of all their life, do I give birth to the mind? Likewise, shall I do successfully follow the practice. This stanza number 24 is the actual stanza for accepting bodhicitta. Okay. For the short time, first, what do you think? I will practice the bodhicitta as the previous all the Buddhas, previous Bodhisattva. That means I will practice as them. Again, you simply think, I will practice, I follow bodhicitta as the previous Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in order to benefit all sentient beings. And second, you just think, I wish to be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Wish to be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Please, this mind, wishing to be Buddha to benefit sentient beings, you must continuously keep continuously. This is namely we call inspiration bodhicitta. You yourself inspiring to be Buddha, to benefit all sentient beings. Second one, you are not just inspiring. The stanza here, shall I to successively follow the practice. Not only you are yourself inspiring the Buddha, you sincerely engage into practice, particularly 6 perfections. Okay, this is how we can. First, we need to think. I will practice bodhicitta as the previous Buddhas and Bodhisattva. Second, we just think I wish to be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Not only wishing, I want to practice the 6 perfections. This is 24, right? 24. Now 26, Bodhisattva. Okay, please chant the stanza number 25. 25, the chant. Increase the form now on, though with the descendant who have restly ceased, waking mind in this way, should highly practice in the following manner. So this kind of, your commitments, not only just engage in bodhicitta, I'm going to increase the bodhicitta continuously. Then, stanza number 26. Today my life has borne fruits, having well obtained this human existence. I've been born in the family of the Buddha, and now am on the Buddha children. Now you can see the order, right? First you have inspiration, then you engage in bodhicitta, then you wish to practice the bodhicitta continuously, increasingly, not diminish. Then you need to remember, yes, just I have generated bodhicitta. So today my life has borne fruits. What does it mean? Let's say now I'm like 63 or 64 years old. Let's say, until this year, I am just going through all the recitation, chanting, recitation, going around the temple, visited temple, pay respect to the Buddha, just doing all this, the traditional dharma practice. Somehow one day, I met a gurus who taught me how to practice bodhicitta. Then, based on his or her advice, based on the teacher advice, I generate bodhicitta, for example. I go bodhicitta. Since what I need to feel, oh, today my life has meaning, my life become meaningful. Right? Today my life has borne fruits. That means in the past I have done so many things. So today is the only day I have done something which is the most important one. Having well obtained this human existence, I have been born the family Buddhas. Now on, I'm on the Buddha's children. Right now, you need to rejoice yourself. Now I become Bodhisattvas. I become children of Buddha. I become family of the Buddha. Next sentence. Thus, whatever action I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall I transgress of the polluted this noble and the unsuited. That means you strictly follow the advice, the teaching of the Bodhisattva was never going to let the bodhicitta decrease. Now 28. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in the heap of the rubbish, likewise by some coincidence, a beginning mind has been born with me. Exactly, right? So many lifetimes. Sometimes, even though as a Buddhist, verbally we say there will be next life. There's a previous life. Just we verbally say. If you sincerely thinking yourself, sincerely asking question yourself, do you believe in previous life? Do you believe in next life? You sincerely ask question yourself. You answer honestly. Can you say there will be next life? Can you really say there was my previous life? Not easy, right? Not 100% you can say there's a previous life, there's a next life. Because we just believe, follow what the Buddha says. We just believe, follow, accept what the Guru says. We never go through the serious study. Right? These are our problems. The Gurus, the Buddha have done their job. They just say, they just teach us. For us, for our responsibility, our job, we need to study. We need to seriously think about next and previous life. If you don't have a solid belief in next life, you're not going to have a solid belief in karma and result in karma. Right? So what logic we can use, we ourselves able to believe in previous life and next life. Because here, the words here, just like a blind man discovered a jewel in a heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence. This means in previous life I never have this kind of opportunity. This lifetime I got this kind of opportunity. You know, a coincidence. That means what you need to think. In the past, I've gone through millions of lifetime. I didn't hear about bodhicitta. I didn't practice bodhicitta. Even this lifetime, almost 30 years, we didn't hear of bodhicitta. So now it's kind of something happened for my life like a coincidence about hearing bodhicitta, generative bodhicitta. But that means as a Buddhist, one of the principles is believing previous life, believing next life. If you are able to believe, if you are able to accept previous life, very easy to accept karma and result. If you really able to believe in next life, after next life, therefore it's very easy to believe achieving Buddhahood. Otherwise, this lifetime, like me, 60 plus, I haven't a bodhicitta, how I can be Buddha for this lifetime. The next life, I cannot really accept next life, then how I wish to be Buddha, right? Therefore, what I'm trying to say here, sometimes you seriously need to study about next and previous life. You should not say, oh, there's next life because Buddha says so, because my teacher says so. There's a previous life because Buddha says so. My teacher says so. I heard from someone. Somebody told a story. These are just story and teaching. It doesn't have a solid evidence. We need to study our, it will be our next previous life. Now, you need to feel very sense of, rejoice. Like a blind man discovering a jewel in a heap of rubbish. Let's say you are very poor person. You are blind. So you're going around the road. You saw a rubbish. So you just, touching the rubbish. You found a jewel, right? Then you feel, I'm so lucky. I'm blind. Somehow I got, the big piece of jewel. You can sell it. You can make a lot of money. You can have a good house. You can have a lot of good food. That means we are, until today, we are totally been, blind being. So this is one of the, kind of luckiest life to have the time, to have the opportunity to practice bodhicitta. The rest of them is more for now we chant stanza number next, 29. It is the supreme embodies, the overcome the sovereignty of the dead. It is the unextinguished treasure that eliminates all the poverty of the world. 30. It is supreme medicine that cures all disease. It is the tree that shelters all beings, wandering the great of the part of the conditioned existence. It is the universal bridge that leads to the freedom for unhappiness of the God. It is the dawning moon of the mind that dispels the torment of the disturbing concept. It is the great sun that finally removes the misery ignorance of the world. It is the consciousness of daughter from the traditional view of the Dharma. Now here look at that stanza number 3, right? It is the supreme medicine. There's so many types of medicine. This is the one of the best for supreme medicine that cures the whole disease of anger, attachment, anger, ignorance. Right? So you read the stanza, you memorize, you always will remember, practicing bodhicitta is the supreme medicine, can quells any kinds of disease. Not only that, right? It is the tree, the shelter all beings. What does it mean? Right? Here look at, when you think about our life, it's very interesting to think about our own kind of mindset. Normally, average people living in a very small space. You have a very small space you can move around. You have a very small, space. You have only kind of, few people who you can trust. Right? The rest of the people, you cannot trust the rest of the people. So that means you build one kind of circle, boundary. In this boundary, I can have only few people. The rest of the people cannot come in. But still, if you are very happy, you are totally happy with a few people who you can communicate, you are okay. But you are not still happy with a few people around you, then how you can be happy? You cannot. Therefore, through the practice of bodhicitta, through the great practice, you need to destroy the boundary, or you need to extend the boundary. Maybe all Singaporeans can come in. You can communicate. You can talk to any of all Singaporean. Then slowly you can extend the boundary for all human beings. Then all sentient beings. If you are able to build the boundary, include all sentient beings, that means you are communicate with anybody easily, happily. You are happy, your life become more happy. Right? So we build so many boundaries. So therefore we feel our life is so narrow, so difficult because we build unnecessary kind of boundary, many kinds of boundary. These are my friends, those are not my friends. I can share things, these people, not that people, those are bad people, right? So through the bodhicitta practice, we need to evolve to destroy all kinds of boundary, all kinds of boundary. Then everybody become your friends. You don't have a serious attachment towards someone. You don't have a serious hatred to someone. Everybody become your friends. Right? So today we go through more experience of bodhicitta, accepting bodhicitta, then the sense of commitments, sense of rejoice. And next lesson, the conscientiousness. The conscientiousness. So it takes, I think, few classes. So as a homework, right? Please, before until next Saturday, you can read, like 2 pages. Please, you read, you go through, you think about the meaning, not only thinking, you must think how I can apply the meaning in my life, in our daily life. Then move next stanza, read few times, think about the meaning, think how I can apply the meaning in my daily life, right? Also as a homework, please everybody must done, okay? So I will ask next time. Chapter number 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, you must read all the stanza. First chapter number 1, you go through all the stanza. You must select, the minimum 5 stanza. Use as your daily practice. Some words, some stanza is really hit my mind, not your mind. Some stanza really, hit your mind, not my mind. Because different people have different understanding. Therefore, you select. Okay, you select few stanza, give a notes. Now open chapter number 2. Go through all the stanza. You select some of the 4 stanza. Give a note. This is your daily practice. Then move to chapter number 3. Go through. You must select some of the words. Give us a note. Then wherever you go, you bring the notebook or you note in your phone, set in your phone, you open the phone, then you just go through the few stanza, transform your mind gradually, right? Okay, this I want to say today. So we went through more experience class. Okay, before we do the dedication, do you have any question? Okay, please.
Ashika, I think I totally agree with you when you were saying that whether do we really have past life or do we have future life? I mean, sometimes, Buddhists tend to say, that's your past life or that's your future life, or something like that. So I have a lot of doubts, and I totally agree with you. So may I request, or may we request you to actually teach us that really show that is a concrete evidence on this. Thank you.
one of the Tibetan scholars said, when I analyze right? When I study about me, self, when I analyze self and me, look like I'm not there, I'm no more. When you analyze, look like I'm no more, I'm not exist. Then he says, second, when the needle touch me, when the needle punch me, it look like I'm exist. When you analyze, look like you are no exist. When the needle touch you, if somebody pinch your needle, look like you exist. Exactly. So when you study, go through study, first you think, look like there's no previous life. There are no such a next life. There's no such as karma. Many people say, I don't think there's a good and bad karma because these people, this person, this family have been doing a lot of bad things. Their life is more successful than my life. I've been doing all the Dharma practice, my life is going worse and worse and worse and worse. How come that is more successful and more failure? I don't think there's a karma. Many people say like that, right? Also many people say, according to one of the Hindu school, there's no previous life, no next life, because nobody has seen yet. Nobody see previous next life. This is one logic. First, when you study, you just tend to believe no next life, no previous life. Then you ask a question yourself, why not there's no next life? What is the evidence there's no next life? What is the evidence you have there's no previous life? I don't think you would have a solid evidence to prove no next life. Like, for example, scientists. Many people say this is very, kind of misunderstanding. Many people say, oh, scientists don't believe in karma. Scientists don't believe in next and previous life. No, they said, so far we haven't got solid evidence to say there's a previous life. We don't have a solid evidence to say there's no next life. They don't say there's no next life. They say we don't have a solid evidence to say there's no creator, there's no God. So nobody has a solid evidence to believer or non-believer. Solid evidence. But when you use what Dalai Lama said, what other masters said, you have two options. You believe in next life or you don't believe in next life. If you believe in next life, you have more benefits. If you don't believe in next life, you have more loss. And people who don't believe next life, they can do all the nonsense thing. I thought about this, for example, this morning. Let's say positive and negative, or right and wrong. This morning I thought about right and wrong. How we can say this is wrong, you are doing this is wrong, you are doing this is right. The right and wrong can be according to the law, rules and regulation. According to Singapore law, we can say this is right, this is wrong. According to the law, it's wrong. Maybe actually it is not wrong, it may become right. For example, killing a kind of people is right or wrong. It is right or wrong. According to the law, like the country law is wrong. When you kill someone, you're going to go through, you're going to have a big punishment. It's wrong because of the law. Second, it is wrong naturally. It's wrong naturally because if you kill someone, killing someone can affect for so many people. When somebody kills the father, it could have a big effect for the family, bad for the lot of the family. So generally, right and wrong is so difficult to say this is right, this is wrong. We have to think many different ways. That previous life, the best logic, taught by Buddha, or particularly all the Indian scholar, usually they say we have a body, we have a mind. It's very clear. We have a body, we have a mind. It's very clear. Nobody could say I don't have a body. Nobody say I have a body, I don't have a mind. Everybody will accept I have a body, I have a mind. Now you need to study where my body is come from, where my mind is come from, right? Average people going to believe my body is from my parents because average 90% very much was similar, with the parents, one of the parents. Sometimes it's a mix, right? The face is like a general like a father, the eyes is like a mother, sometimes mix. That means it's very clear our bodies come from our parents, no doubt, right? Significant proof. Number, where's the mind come from? Mind is come from where? This is a big question. Now, according to the modern, neuroscience, so far they said all the mental activities, because so far we call mind, the mind are just the brain activities. It's just based on your brain. Right? So they believe so far the mind is the brain activities, not totally separate from the brain. So from there, so we have to study the mind is totally separate from the brain activity or is still linked with the brain activities. For example, somebody got serious injured, the brain got damaged. So you can see many people cannot talk, cannot eat, cannot walk because their brain got damaged. Right? But it's very interesting to see the person who got brain damage, the brain is damaged, cannot see, cannot talk, cannot eat. But you can see the person is very angry. Still feel the person can feel very strong. Anger is still very healthy. The mind cannot see, air cannot hear, but anger is so strong. Right? Even though very old people, almost 100 plus, physically very weak. A person have a very strong attachment. Attachment is still very healthy. Anger is very healthy. Eyes, nose, tongue, body very unhealthy. Doesn't mean it look like mind. Some minds like eyes consciousness, air consciousness are very much depend on the brain. It's come to anger, attachment. You can see very disabled person have a very healthy anger, healthy attachment. Those are not much related to the brain. Now you go more subtle levels. That for example, according to Tantrayana teaching, they talk about the gross mind, subtlest mind. When you study based on the Tantrayana teaching, yes, we can say the body and mind is totally separate. Generally, some minds depends on the brain. Therefore, my minds are not come from my parents. They come from my previous life. Then from there you can believe into previous life. Okay? So thank you so much. It's 12. So thank you so much for attending the class. So we do dedication. Dedication, we chant a few stanzas from the chapter number 10. Chapter number 10. Dedication, chapter number 10. Stone dedication. Stanza number 1, dedication. Through the virtues of having composed this work, a guide to the Bodhisattva way of life, may all living beings come to the engage in the Bodhisattva conducts. That means all merit we have accumulated this morning, we are going to dedicate all sentient beings able to practice, able to engage in the bodhicitta. Stanza number 2. May all beings everywhere purge with the suffering of the body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtues of misery. So we dedicate the merit to able to experience happiness for all sentient beings, free all sentient beings, all kinds of misery. Stanza number 3. For as long as the human is second existence, may their happiness never be declined, and may all of them undoubtedly receive web of joy from Bodhisattvas. Simple, you can think, all sentient beings always be happy, never be declined the happiness from all lives. Always have a happiness through web of, through blessing of Buddhas. Last, we dedicate the merit to benefit all sentient beings, particularly all the people who have been supporting Tibetan Buddhist Center, who already passed away, who are still alive. Jamba Bhave Jitara Kempadam Kundo Sambo Deyan Deshe Yada Punye Jesu Daloje Gyawa Nida Tamje Tuzun Shebe Gyawa Tamje Uwa Kanla Chodon Hap Dagi Gewe Tsawan Digunyan Zambo Chuje Rado Uwa Yi. Okay, have a